dreamer to put the world to rights. I stay home forever, but two to two always makes a five. I'll lay down the track.
Good evening and welcome to this week's episode of the currently named Skinned Bear podcast. My name is Stuart Skin Bear Garrard, and you join me for episode 4, I think it is. 5? 5, thank you. My soon-to-be revealed co-host has just informed me that it's episode 5, so cheers, mate. No, 4, episode 4. Thank you. We'll get there in the end. This is a fully professional show. Before I introduce my super special co-host, I just want to take a moment to thank the lovely Amanda for her contribution last week. Not last week, but on the last show. My dear wife was magnificent. That won't be the last you see of her on the show, I'm sure. But bless her, she was shy, but she did do an awesome job. So thank you, Amanda, if you are listening. She doesn't listen, but anyway, I feel obliged to say thanks. Anyway, moving on. Thank you for listening. What I want to do first and foremost is introduce my brand new, super keen, super excited co-host, Mr. David Bridge. Good evening, sir.
Well, hello there. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
You said super and special quite a lot. Should I feel? I don't know.
I'm just bigging you up, mate. You know what I mean? Anyone who, in my eyes, anyone who's mad enough to come on and want to join me on this special little program is special, super special in my eyes.
Again, super special. I feel like I should be in the
special
the SEN classes.
By special, I mean special needs.
Yes.
Anyway, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad after all that.
Excellent.
Enjoying the weather. We're having one hell of a summer down here on the south coast. I don't know how you're doing over there.
Oh, mate, I am in Suffolk, lovely sunny Suffolk, and I'm sweltering. I'm currently sweating into my sofa as we speak.
We're down here in Dorset on the south coast in Bridport. No one is going to want to use these pair of headphones after I'm done with them, I can tell you that.
I tell you, yeah, I've got the, similarly, I've got the closed cup. I can see you've got the closed cup style ones, and my ears are sweating. It's revolting, but there you go. It's one of the pitfalls of what we're trying to do here. But
we're looking at each other. It's a good thing it's not a video show or some kind of... vlog or something like that. They wouldn't be pretty.
No, but to be fair, have you seen some of the vlogs on YouTube? To be honest,
yes, I have.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've seen some pretty hot ones, but yeah, I've seen some.
Moving on,
some questionable ones.
So who exactly are you, Mr. David Bridge?
Yeah, sorry, who am I? Yeah, I'm David Robert Bridge. I'm a Sagittarius, and I'm a musician down from Bridport, Dorset, and I've been wanting to get into the podcast game, if you want to call it that, for quite a while, but just haven't really had the tools and the people around me to do it. So I came across your podcast a couple of weeks ago, and you randomly said you were looking for a co-host. So I thought, well, if I don't speak up now, then I'm never going to do it. And that's where we are.
And to be honest with you, I'm glad you did. Because although I have enjoyed doing the solo shows, which are kind of progressed on from what I was doing I was actually doing some YouTube videos, believe it or not. So I did some YouTube videos on my own where I just reviewed some films and whatnot. Progressed on to doing a podcast, but there is something lacking when you're doing it by yourself. So I think
I would imagine so. And the last episode was, I think, a lot better with your missus there. I think just having that extra person around is going to help.
Bless you. You are too kind, sir. Too kind.
It's good stuff. And also, we've got a lot in common. So just by judging the things that you're talking about, I figured, hey, I can throw my 2 cents in here.
Yeah. Well, as you probably know, this is a show which is a bit of a mishmash of anything and everything, to be honest. We talk some wrestling, we talk some video games, we talk some films, some TV shows, some sport, whatever. So, and like you say, you are obviously a fan of those
All of the
said
above.
all those said topics, yeah, which is good to hear. Kindred
Hmm.
spirits, I think.
Yes, Renaissance men discussing the
Oh, I
Renaissance.
like that. Hey, a new title for the podcast: The
The
Renaissance Men.
Renaissance? Yeah, maybe. We'll
Mate,
see.
mate, do it. Anyway, um, just to before we move on to what we've been up to this week, I just want to tie up some administrative loose ends. iTunes reviews. I should actually look, to be fair, that we've got any. I can't imagine we have, so I won't bother this week.
I
But
didn't bother posting one, no.
no. But please, if you are listening and you want to give us a review, then please do so. If anything, it helps me. You know, tell me what I'm doing, or tell us what we're doing rubbish. Then
It's feedback.
exactly. If we're doing something rubbish, I want to know about it so I can improve it. So
I'd rather get the kiss-ass comments, but yeah, send all your hate to Stu.
yeah, okay. So yeah, please, if you've got 5 minutes spare, I say this, I've never reviewed a podcast in my life, so it's funny being on the other end of it. But please do come and give us feedback, even if you don't want to give us an iTunes review. Tweet me or send us an email and just let us know if there's anything you want us to start covering, or if there's anything you don't like. All feedback is good feedback.
If there's something you disagreed with, please
Yes. I'm all into some, listener interaction. Once, we're up to speed and we've got going and we're comfortable in what we're doing, we should probably come up with some segments or something that can, bring listeners in and help them
Yeah.
interact with us. Do you
Yeah,
know what I
I'm
mean?
well up for that. Absolutely.
Excellent. So there you are. That's all I really had to say. I guess I should ask you, David, what have you been up to this past week?
Me babysitting mostly, but nothing.
Oh dear.
Nothing that's not going to be too interesting for the purposes of this show. No, I've been looking around, looking for things to bring to the show. But in terms of like movies and TV, not so much. A lot of gaming, a lot of retro gaming. Final Fantasy VII, I've just been playing over and over and over again for years, and I finally dug out like 88. I
No.
dug it out again for once this year. And other than that, there's not a whole lot been going on other than sweltering in the heat.
I hear you.
But more what I want to get into is to talk about a little bit of sport and some of the news stories. I guess we'd be remiss because you haven't done a show for about 2 weeks now.
Yes,
I
that's
guess.
correct. Yep.
And of course, last Friday we had that horrific plane shooting, if you can call it that, in the Ukraine. I mean, just horrible stuff. And of course, the trouble in the Middle East with Israel and Palestine is just what is going on.
I saw that ITV report of the bombing of the school, and that was just absolutely horrific.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I mean,
horrific.
it's like it's 2014 now. We should have figured out how to work out these stupid effing problems, and somehow it's still going by.
Tragic.
Yeah, absolutely tragic.
I posted a flippant tweet last night. It was related to that bombing in Israel, and I essentially
This is the school bombing, yeah.
Yes, and essentially I was calling for the day when our ape overlords do overrun us and assume control, because they probably will bring a bit of civilization to the human race. I say it tongue in cheek, but there is some seriousness in that, I should say. But I don't want to make light of a serious subject, but
No, of course. But,
it's
one of Gandhi's best quotes is, "What do you think of Western civilization?" Oh, I think it would be a very good idea.
Yeah. Mate, we're quoting Gandhi. You're already bringing
Gandhi.
a sense of class to the podcast.
I'm bringing some class to the proceedings.
What is going on?
Renaissance and Gandhi.
to Stephen Gerrard.
To Stephen Gerrard, not to be confused with Stuart Gerrard.
Yeah, I get that all the time, mate. I do. I do.
You have to. But yeah, Stephen Gerrard steps down this week as England captain, retires from his international duties after 14 years.
Has it been that long?
In the squad. It's 14 years. 2000 he made his first appearance.
Wow.
114 caps I got right here, 21 goals, including, if you remember, those magic 3 goals he scored against Germany in Germany in that 5-1 win in the qualifiers.
I was surprised to read that I think the first goal he scored there was his first goal for England, and that seemed quite a long way from him making his debut, but it probably wasn't, was it? If you think about
No.
it, it's probably only like a year from his debut, so...
Well, he's 34 now, I think. So 14 years, he'd been 20. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. He'll be missed, I suppose, but
He will be missed.
personally, I think time is right for an injection of youth. But that we began to sort the World Cup. I know we didn't do particularly well. I still think there was signs of hope there.
I thought we played better than we did in previous tournaments, quite honestly.
I think you're right. Yeah. So I'm optimistic about England. I must admit. Not.
I am, but
I don't think we'll win anything, but I just as an Englishman, I want to see them play with a bit of flair, even if they're ultimately defeated. You just want them to play some stylish, good pacey football.
I tell you what, I wasn't going to bring this up, but I'd love them to play like the USA did in their game against Belgium. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't know that was one of the games I did not see.
Oh, that was the best 0-0 draw I have ever seen. But and they lost 2-1 in extra time. But for anyone out there who saw that game, you can absolutely attest to this. USA played out of their skin.
I know.
That was the game. That was the game that Tim. Oh, what was his name? The keeper.
Tim Howard.
Tim Howard got the record for most ever World Cup saves in a game.
Oh, okay. Yes, I remember reading about that. Yeah,
just a crazy 0-0 draw.
I know it's a cliche to say, but I really do believe that within the next, 5 World Cups, and the USA probably will win. Should probably win one of those if the uptake in the sport in the country is.
As it seems,
continues from what because it was quite a fervour around their World Cup.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why this year? I'm not sure. Maybe it might be social media. I think that might be it.
Yeah, I wonder if they starting to play it more in college and stuff. I don't know.
I don't know if there's scholarships and that sort of thing with soccer, as they would say. But no, there's definitely, you could hear the USA chants in the stadiums.
Yes. So there we go. And of course, talking of USA, Frank Lampard has signed with who's it? New York or something. New York City, something like that.
Is that something to do with Red Bull?
See, I thought they were New York Red Bulls, but
no. They've got some retarded names.
Yeah, whether it's a new franchise, it's all right. Anything goes on this show. It's explicit. It's explicit for a reason.
Oh, good man. I've been watching my mouth up till now.
So,
I've been minding my manners.
Oh dear, no, I don't want none of that.
No, they've got really stupid names down there. They've got like, was it Salt Lake City Real or something stupid like that? Or,
it's America.
FC Dallas. Football Club Dallas.
Yeah. You crazy Americans.
Well, it's just like
they call it soccer. They're a bit mental.
Yeah, they do. Well, a lot of people call it soccer nowadays. I'm not going to get too mad about that. I mean, they are more annoyed when we call their American football.
That's true.
So whatever.
Although saying that, I do like my American sports.
Yeah, I do. I like baseball and I kind of like basketball, but I've never gone to football.
No, I love my American football. I really do.
I don't get it.
It does take. It does take time to get into, but my experience of American football mainly was born from playing John Madden football on the Sega Mega Drive.
Oh well, just to bring it back to the retro stuff.
So
did it teach you the rules?
Basic, yes.
Okay.
It didn't go into. No, I would say there was quite a fundamental. The fundamental rules were in there, so yeah, I would say yes, it did. To be honest.
Okay. Yeah. But then there's also like, isn't that only like a 4 or 5 month season as well?
Yeah, September through to February.
Late January.
Yeah, late January, February.
It's around the Rumble usually, isn't it?
Yes.
So yeah,
So, do you have any more exciting tidbits for me?
I got tidbits. It
I say it.
depends. Well, actually, with the Stephen Gerrard thing, because we got way off that, we weren't just lamenting his career, although he did have a great career, and his career will still continue. He's still playing for Liverpool.
He's not dead. He's not dead, Dave. He's not dead.
He's not dead. I've got an old friend of mine who is Stephen Gerrard mad. She has such a crush on him. She wouldn't want to hear that.
I thought he was gonna, to be fair, I thought he was going to say I had a close friend of me that died recently.
No, a close friend, close friend who had
put a downer on the podcast.
I will put some downers on here over the next coming weeks, I'm sure. But no, I wanted to get into who should replace him as the England captain. Now, I'll throw this out there to you. Most people are talking about 3 names.
Mm-hmm. Hit me.
For whatever reason, Joe Hart, Gary Cahill, Wayne Rooney.
Okay. 3 stellar choices.
I've got my opinion on it, but I'm going to throw that out to you before I get to my opinion.
Okay.
What do you think?
Personally, I think there's only one choice there, and that's Wayne Rooney. You wouldn't know, but I am a Man U fan, a die-hard Manchester United fan. So
I didn't know.
My opinion may be slightly skewed because of that, but Joe Hart, England captain, really? I can't see that. He's too busy doing his Head and Shoulders adverts.
Well, I use Head and Shoulders. Come on.
Look at me. To the listeners, yes. To the listeners, I don't have any hair, so hence the barbed comments you may have heard just then. It's all right. It's okay. Who's the third one? Joe Hart.
Gary Cahill.
Yeah, I suppose. Personally,
well, now, see, I'm with you on Rooney.
Yeah.
But I'm not a United fan, but the reason being, I hate having defenders or goalkeepers as captains.
Okay.
Why do you? Well, because...
Explain yourself. Come on, man.
Explain myself. Well, with a goalkeeper and defenders, they're pretty organised bastards. They are going to sort out their back line. They're going to boss each other around. They're going to be where they need to be. I think from a captain, you want someone who's going to basically send everyone forward. Organise the attacking structure, that kind of thing. So I don't think that's a job for a keeper. I see no reason for a keeper to be a captain at all. And I love keepers. I used to play in goal.
Oh, really? I thought, you look the mental type.
Yep, kind of. Big mental. Yep, he was in goal. And defenders, I don't know. What do you make of that? Do you think there's a room for defenders in a captain position?
I will take your question and I will throw it back to you to say, do we actually need captains at all? Question mark. Debate.
No.
What do they do?
It's not going away.
What do? They hand over one of those pennant things, and they do the coin toss. In my eyes,
they call the coin toss. That's a big deal. No, I guess it's just a designated position. It's kind of a figurehead. That's the guy who is gonna give the orders, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're not gonna say no to him if he says something. Put it that way.
But ultimately, it's the manager that will make those decisions. So I don't see the value of...
The manager will make his decisions, but the players on the pitch have to carry them out.
Yeah.
And I think it's the captain to relay the manager's orders, if you know what I mean.
I do. I just personally, I just feel that it's a role that has kind of diminished over the years, and
it is. Yeah, it's not as important as say a cricket captain or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
But at the same time, I do think it's, even if it's just a figurehead, I do think it's an important role, and I don't think it should go to defensive players.
Because I hear you.
They kind of have their shit together already.
Yeah.
But either way, we're both saying Rooney.
I think so, and I think that will probably be the case. Interestingly, he will probably be England captain, but not United captain.
No, probably not.
Which is interesting.
Although there's precedent for that. There's been quite a few like that.
Yeah.
And we've had some piss poor captains over the years as well. So I don't know how Rooney would do in that role if he can, but he's going to be an ever-present player. He's not going nowhere.
No, which is good.
You may as well use him.
Poor bugger. I think he got a lot of undue stick during the World Cup, particularly again after the first game, wasn't it? Was it the first game? You know, when we stuck out on the left wing, and everyone was saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's why we." Did we lose? Oh, my memory is terrible. We lost? Did we
It
lose
was
that?
only a few weeks ago.
It was.
Yes, we lost 2-1 to Italy.
That's it. Of course it was. Yeah. And everyone was blaming Wayne Rooney for some reason. So, but there you go.
Even though he helped make the goal.
Yeah. That's football, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
Everyone has an opinion, which is it's good to get some football chat on here. I like it. We should do more of this. More sports, more sports.
New season starts in August, so we've got plenty to talk about coming
mate,
up.
I can't wait. So, anything else?
Wait, just to follow on from that, we can have a bit more football talk. As you're a United fan, I guess. Van Gaal.
Yes.
Coming in.
Yes.
What are United going to do this year?
I'm cautiously optimistic. I do feel that
Top four?
Yes, I do think so. I think being in Europe will be a bonus. I think it will make it a duller season, for want of better words, for the fans, because
I don't think so, because I don't think
Really?
they're gonna. I don't think they're going to dominate by any stretch.
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be a work in progress, certainly.
No,
I
think you probably have Man City, Man United, Chelsea, possibly Liverpool, maybe even Arsenal.
Yeah.
Could be a 5-way battle.
I just feel that, for me personally, it's going to be hard because I've been so used to. I know, and you're going to say, "Oh, my heart bleeds." I know.
No. I'm not.
I get this direction, but
I'm not a United hater at all.
For me, it's going to be quite hard for them to play a game on the Saturday and then them not to play another game until the next Saturday. I'm going to miss those midweek European nights. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, my heart does bleed. Yeah, I'm not a United hater, but yeah, it's been a while since you've had to stay out of.
I know, but
when was the last time? Like 90.
I don't think it. I think it was mid-90s.
Well, I remember 95. You went out of the UEFA Cup early.
Yeah, I think it was. I think there was a season in the mid-90s where we weren't in Europe. I'm pretty sure they said that because I was surprised at exactly how short it was because I thought it would have been like 30 years or whatever, but they actually said it was like 18 or something like that. So yeah, they won the first friendly in the US 7-0 the other day, so that bodes well.
Who do they play?
LA Galaxy.
Oh well.
So, but you say that, but David Moyes, I think, lost by 80% of his friendlies last year. So,
Did he?
Yes. So we should have seen the warning signs there, but that's another story.
That mean he did well in the league. Any other sports stories you want to throw out there? As we're going the sport direction.
Yeah, I don't know really. I think no, to be honest. I mean, I know Alistair Cook is getting a lot of stick as the England cricket captain, but I'm not.
He is, and he might end up going out. I hope not, because I like the guy. But
yeah, as an Essex lad, I do have a soft spot for him, and Essex, of course. But yeah, it's sad to see England are on a tough streak at the moment, aren't they, cricket-wise? So, but there you go. There you go.
We've got the F1 Hungarian Grand Prix coming up this weekend. I don't know if you're a fan at all.
Mate, no, I couldn't think of anything duller, to be honest.
Oh, good man. Well, in that case, I'll just speak to myself for one moment. Anyone who is an F1 fan, Hungarian Grand Prix coming up this weekend. We have a German Grand Prix last weekend. Things are getting really tight between Lewis and Nico now. It's going to be Mercedes again, we're sure of that, but we're going into the summer break and we want to see exactly who the better man is. It's getting closer and closer, and it's got to go down to the wire. It has to. Who's going to win? I hope Lewis. My head kind of says Nico, but we'll see. Hey, it should be a good race, and they're giving storms for the race as well, so I'll make things better.
Yes. No, I think the last Formula One I watched was like the Mansell era.
92 or something.
I think 1992 was the last time I watched Formula One.
Oh, that's a good year.
It was, and he actually made a very good video game on the Super Nintendo.
Yes, he did, and I played it. Oh my god, I remember that game. Oh, what happened to that? My copy of that game.
That was good. It was
That
good,
was
wasn't
amazing.
it? Yeah, it was good.
It was. Well, it was one of those old, like this was before the 3D graphics, of course. It was one of those old school 2D races. I remember my mum trying to play that, and that being the funniest stuff ever. It's like it got to the point where she'd go lap after lap after lap, and I would kind of call
Backwards.
like a commentator. No. I would call like a commentator all the stuff she was going to hit before it came up.
Mums in video games, eh?
She used to kick my ass at Flimbo's Quest.
Oh dear.
Don't know if you remember that one.
I don't. No.
That was a Commodore 64 game.
Oh, mate, are you a Commodore fan?
I had one. I wouldn't
Oh,
call
good,
myself
good.
a fan, but I had
Excellent.
one.
Well, that's good enough for me. I'm fist bumping this screen as we speak.
I'll fist pump my mic.
So, that was a very good intro. I have to say, 26 minutes we've gone on there.
Oh, Lord.
No, that's good stuff. Good quality stuff, and it makes a change to talk some sport, to be honest. I don't have much more to add, to be honest. I mean, I apologise for the absence of a show last week. I actually had to go off to Lincoln for a week and do some bits and bobs up there, but I know I didn't really play or watch or read or listen or do anything, to be honest, so it would have been a bit pointless doing a show.
You did see the one movie, which we can perhaps get into next.
I did, yes. So what should we talk next? Do you want to head into film, get that out of the way, and then
I think so, yeah.
delve into our wrestling later?
Yeah, I think so, because I haven't seen any movies, but you have seen the one, so we may as well
Excellent.
get into that.
Sweet. So we're going to take a short break now, but when we return, we shall talk some films. See you soon.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
And welcome back, guys. We are now going to talk film. My passion, as it were. Okay, so last Saturday, I believe, I went to see Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is the sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which I think was a 2011 film, I believe. Essentially a reboot of the Planet of the Apes franchise. Now, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is set 10 years after that first film. Now, David, I'm not sure, have you seen the first film at all?
No.
No. Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. I shall speak in layman's terms.
Please do.
Okay.
It's about apes, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes was the first film, and it basically set up how there was this scientists were developing a cure for Alzheimer's, which they then tested on apes, on one particular ape who then got super intelligent, and then escaped and ran off into the forest with other apes.
Okay.
Cut to 10 years later, a simian flu has spread across the world, crippling the human race. We are on our knees, basically. I think
this isn't a comedy, is it?
No. This is post-apocalyptic awesomeness. So the simian flu has taken over the world. Humans are decimated. There's very few of us alive. This small-ish colony of apes are alive in some forest in the United States of America, and they've developed their culture. They've learnt to communicate with each other. Caesar, the main ape, who I believe was animated and acted out by Andy Serkis, of Gollum and King Kong fame. And Caesar essentially is the leader of this group of apes. What happens? Oh man, this is a terrible segment. I'm sorry.
I assume there's some kind of insurrection going on. And,
there is. There's
taking over stuff.
There's a colony of humans led by Gary Oldman, who is doing what Gary Oldman does, being very good. He wants to access a old abandoned what they call, not mine, water power, what's it called, Oh, my mind.
What is it? Just describe it
Like a
to me.
water turbine type system. What they called a dam.
A viaduct. Oh, damn.
A dam type thing.
Complicated word.
Yes. So Gary Oldman wants to get to this dam, which is in ape territory. This dam will help power the human colony's city that they've built up, and essentially a a battle of trust and this is going spectacularly wrong.
Are these apes evil?
The apes are not. There is one evil ape,
Okay.
and he is intelligent enough to, without giving spoilers away, to create a fake sense of tension and conflict between the humans and the apes. Battle ensues, and it's just really, really, really good.
Okay. I'd buy that. Despite the riveting damn description.
I know.
Yes,
I
buy it.
I do apologise for my lack of a coherent description. I appreciate may not have sold Dawn of the Planet of the Apes as well as I should have done.
Oh, that sounded okay to me.
But essentially, it is they set up this battle between this human colony and ape colony.
So now we're 10 years later.
Yeah, this is all happening 10 years after the first film, which saw Caesar go off with his apes, and the beginning of the virus, which 10 years later has decimated the whole planet. What I loved about it is there's a wonderful sense of symmetry in the film. There's the humans and the apes. There's similar characters on both sides, and they're both kind of got contrasting aspirations, as it were. The apes kind of just want to live in peace, and the humans just want. It's kind of the humans that instigate any violence in the film. For me, anyway, it's almost like a environmentalist propaganda, to be honest with you, because it's all on the
Planet of the Apes always was. It was like it was warning of it's us for monsters, really. That kind of thing.
And that continues in this film certainly. The humans certainly their lust for electricity and power and all this kind of their hoarding of weaponry is ultimately their downfall, to be honest, because the apes. It's so difficult to describe it without spoiling it. Do you know what I mean? But the apes.
Well, let's not spoil it. Then.
No,
if
but
you don't want to, then
I don't want to.
What did you make of the? Is this a good follow up to the first film?
Yeah, it's great. What I was disappointed in that James Franco, who was in the first film, did not reprise any kind of role in the second film. I thought it would have been nice to see how that character may have developed. In the first film, as you don't know, he was the main scientist who developed this anti-Alzheimer serum, and he befriended Caesar, the main ape, and he kind of just gets forgotten in the preceding 10 years. Whether he dies from the flu or not, we don't know, but we never really find out what happens with him. So it's a shame that they don't really follow on that storyline, to be honest. And the main character they do bring in, who is like a secondary commander at the human colony, it feels like his character should have been the James Franco character, but they just couldn't re-sign him for some reason or other. Do you know what I mean? But
so kind of true to the first film, better than the first film.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, I love this film. Just some of the themes it was dealing with, like I say, about this allegory of environmentalism, or the human race as this evil, horrible being, and just the production values as well. Some of the apes are fully digitized, so they're essentially CGI characters, but the performance, the level of
I
performance.
think I would hate that, but go ahead.
To be honest, Dave, it's tremendous. The level of performance they're able to get out of these characters now is wonderful. It's not a Star Wars Episode 2 sterile kind of CG. It is really truly, and the CGI characters really interact with the human characters as well. I think that helps with Andy Serkis being involved with the film because he's a tremendous actor in his own right, to be honest with you. Whether it's in a suit with bubbles on it or if he's just, acting as himself. So it's a wonderful film. Go and see it. Go and see it. I highly recommend it. I'm not sure how often you get to the cinema, but.
Or me? I thought you were talking to the listeners.
Oh no!
Okay,
Well,
yes, I'll try and get to a cinema. Yes,
good lad.
it's about 15 miles away, but yes, I will find one.
Yeah, do that. It is very good. I actually think the first one was actually on telly. I know this is no help to you now, but the Rise of the Planet of the Apes was on Channel 4 last weekend. So,
I will remind myself to watch that.
Or go back in time.
In the past.
Yes. Remind your past self to watch said film.
I will set some sort of alarm in the past on my alarm. Yes. So that is a glowing endorsement.
It is. I just wish I could have done it more justice, to be honest.
Well, actually, for one other question, do people need to have seen the first film to appreciate the second? Because this sounds a bit.
I would say, unfortunately, yes. Probably you do. Well, do you?
Maybe that's why they were pushing it so hard on Channel 4 to, hey, watch this because the new one's coming out soon.
Do you know what, David? I'm gonna take that back. I don't think you do because they do a good job in the credits. No, in the main credits sequence, they do a good job of bringing you up to speed of what has happened in the last 10 years.
The opening.
Yeah.
Credits, you mean? Yeah, gotcha.
The only reference really to the first film is when Caesar is looking at a picture of James Franco, and that's only the real link that I can remember. I mean, obviously there's the same characters and what have you, but I think you could get away with it if you've missed the first one. Then by all means, I think saying that to get the fullest picture and then the most enjoyment out of both films and go and see both films.
It'd be better served to have seen.
I think so.
Yeah.
But
tremendous. Schools, I guess.
Really good film. One of the best I've seen this year, to be honest with you. I just wish I could have done that review a bit more justice. But there you go.
I think it was, and I'm sure me not seeing it probably didn't help. So.
Well, no. And the other film I just really want to talk about this week is Zodiac. I'm not sure if you've seen Zodiac. It's a.
Explain to me what this is. This isn't Brutus of Beefcake and WCW.
No, this is a 2000.
He doesn't have a film.
I don't know.
Brutus the Barbecue Beefcake the movie.
If he does, I want to see it.
I would. Just a serial killer who goes around cutting off people's hair.
Yeah. Well, it's strange you mentioned serial killers because Zodiac is a film about the Zodiac killer, who I believe was a 70s serial killer in the United States. This is a 2007 film by David Fincher of Fight Club and Seven fame. And it really does take several cues.
Sold already on that, by the way.
Yeah, it does take. If you're a fan of Seven, it does take several cues from Seven. Obviously, with its theme. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr. A great cast.
Already on those two.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, who is every film I see him in is quickly becoming one of my favourite actors.
He's good.
And it's just a really engrossing film about this serial killer. I think it's in Los Angeles. Jake Gyllenhaal plays it's all set around a police investigation and also the local newspaper reporting on the event. So Jake Gyllenhaal is a newspaper cartoonist who is fascinated by the crimes, and he takes up the slack when the police investigation goes cold. It's set over several years, so I think it actually finishes in the 80s, I believe it did. So yeah, it's just really engrossing, great performances.
This is just a DVD you picked up, or something?
It was on. Again, this was on BBC Two. I think not last weekend, weekend before. But I Sky Plused it and watched it last weekend, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, now an on-air production note, how far can we maybe go back with some of our film references or reviews? Because there's some random shit I've seen over the years that I never hear anyone talk about. If
you've seen it recently, you want to talk about it, by all means, do your best. You know what I mean?
Okay, but we'll save it for another day, because there's some good shit to talk about. But yeah,
well, mate,
I'm glad we did the segment.
One last tidbit which fascinated me was Mark Ruffalo's character. He plays a dishevelled Los Angeles police detective in a cream rain jacket. Does that remind you of anyone?
Columbo?
Yes. Apparently, this character is essentially Columbo was based on this character that Mark Ruffalo was portraying in this film.
The Dirty Mac.
Yeah, and it's uncanny, to be honest with you. And incidentally, there was speculation that Mark Ruffalo may be reprising the Columbo character in a remake.
Nice.
Yeah, which I could see.
That's weird.
Yeah, I would love, because I am a super Columbo fan.
Yeah, that's a random twist on it, but yeah, I can sort of see that. Why not?
I know, and yeah, so they're planning to reboot Columbo, which is all
Columbo. That's excellent. Random.
But
when are they going to reboot Due South? That's what I want to know.
Due South. That was the crazy
Mountie
dude and the dog, yeah.
Yeah, Diefenbaker.
Oh dear.
A wolf, not a dog, a wolf.
That's the one. Yeah.
That was an awesome show.
Oh my days. Moving swiftly on.
Yeah, sorry. Why did I bring that up?
Anyway, I've lost all train of thought. I'm just thinking of the Mountie.
Yeah. He was handsome. Well, sorry, the wrestling Mountie.
The wrestler, yeah.
Jacques Rougeau.
Yeah. And now, and my mind is then. This is how my mind works. I'm now thinking of SummerSlam '92.
Now what was that?
That was Wembley Stadium, man.
Wembley. What would that be? The Mountie versus Bossman? No, what was that?
I think it might have been. I think those two were involved in something.
That might have been before that. I don't remember.
A little
92's a bit before my time. I think you're a little older than me, but 92's a bit before my time.
Love it. Best pay-per-view ever.
Oh, just for the Bulldog, because we're English?
Yeah, man.
Kind of.
Well, I think I'm done with Zodiac, so I think that moving swiftly on, I think we should talk some wrestling, man.
It sounds like we're halfway there already anyway, so yeah.
I think so. So I'm gonna top up my gin and tonic, which is 50% gin, 50% tonic, and
I'm gonna take a fourth whiskey and coke.
And let's talk some wrestling.
Yeah.
You've heard his spoken word dramatic readings of such songs as Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds and Rocket Man. Now, Emmy and Golden Globe winning actor, novelist, and musical genius William Shatner finally speaks the lyrics of your favorite WWE superstar entrance themes.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I got the looks that drives the girls wild. I've got the moves that really moves them. I send chills up and down their spine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy.
And what about this timeless classic?
Your time is up. My time is now. You can't see me. My time is now. It's a franchise, boy. I'm shining now. You can't see me. My time is now. Wow, 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 wow. booyaka, booyaka. 619, hey, Rey Mysterioso. Booyaka, 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 booyaka. It's time to play the game. It's time to play the game. It's all about the game and how you play it, all about control. And if you can take it, it's all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about pain. And who's gonna make it?
William Shatner sings WWE Superstar entrance themes. Coming soon.
Welcome back. We are going to talk some wrestling now. I think it's fair to say that wrestling is one of our main passions. Would you agree, David?
Yes, it is. I mean, we both love games, both love TV, both love movies, but it's rare to meet just random guys who love wrestling.
Yeah.
Because it is such a niche thing. It is such a nerdy thing. It is such a gay fucking thing. It's, it's like, how many guys are you just going to randomly meet that love wrestling? So I'm happy enough to talk about it. No problem.
Excellent. I just want to, not that this matters at all, but do you go? Did you go to live events when they're in the UK?
No, we have always planned to, but no, the last one I went to was maybe 15 years ago, something like that.
Mate.
I try to check out independent shows whenever it's near me, but
okay. That's
no,
one thing.
But I am passionate about it. I do love it.
I
Even
didn't
bumped for a while, but
I didn't mean to imply that not going means that you.
I'm not a real fan.
Exactly.
Dare you.
At the end of the day, I'm a Man U fan, and I've never been to Old Trafford, so make of that what you will. But no, thoroughly recommend it. If you get a chance to go to the Raw taping at the O2 or up in the MEN or wherever they go, it's such.
I went as a kid. It was a good vibe, man.
Such a good night out. So good, I love it. But anyway, the week in wrestling. So it was the Battleground pay-per-view.
2 weeks in wrestling, really.
I suppose it is, really, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, of course. I didn't.
Just a slight show note is we were going to record the last Sunday night.
That's true. Yes.
Sunday morning, rather, and that was going to be our very first show. But for random reasons, we held it off, and we were probably going to do a prediction sort of thing.
Yes.
For this card, but that card came and went, and here it is.
But what did you actually think of Battlegrounds? Personally speaking, I didn't actually watch the whole pay-per-view. I just purely for time constraints.
Me personally, neither.
Okay.
But that's not to say that I wasn't not looking forward to the show, but there was an air of predictability about it. I knew John Cena was going to win his match. I knew Seth Rollins was going to win his match. There was an air of predictability about this.
It was,
which was a bit of a mistake on WWE's part, in my opinion.
Yes. What I will say, the hour and a half that I did see, I saw the Usos versus Harper and Rowan.
Great match.
That was
I saw that too. Yeah, great match.
That was such a good. That was the first match on the card, and it was so good.
And a lot of people, I'll throw in this right here. A lot of people were shitting all over that, not that particular match, but on that program because they faced each other so much, and they have. But every time it's damn good. Usos are underrated. Harper and Rowan are fantastic, and they keep coming out, digging out great matches.
What I will say is I was disappointed that the Usos won the match.
A little bit.
I think it's time to put the belts on Harper and Rowan, to be honest.
Yeah, I think they could have done it earlier for now, quite honestly. But yeah, they've still got on the Usos. I don't have a huge problem with that because if you're going to make the tag titles mean something, don't throw it around. Don't just, hand it out willy-nilly. And they're keeping it on them. I'm okay with that. But I agree with you. It is time for Rowan and Harper to have it.
Yeah, but to be honest, it's actually nice to see the WWE actually take the tag division seriously for a change.
It really is.
Um,
It really is. It's been on far too long.
yeah.
Far too long.
Another great match. Moving on was AJ versus Paige. Now this is going to move. This is going to move into what we saw on Raw, but AJ versus Paige at Battleground was very good. Paige is just coming into her own now. I think we'll probably cover that later on. But I'm enjoying everything that Paige is doing, and it's not just because she's a hometown girl, but yeah,
Or fine as hell.
but that's actually quite a good, interesting little feud they've got going. It kind of reminds me of Mickey James and Trish when Mickey James was doing like a stalker kind of. Yeah, I got that kind of impression from.
Okay, because they tried to get along at first, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
were
see
being
that
all
bit,
pally, that kind of stuff. It kind of reminded me of that.
Maybe. I don't know if it. I didn't think of it that way. I thought of it more like, I don't know, maybe because I am English, I just am all over Paige, and I don't mean that in a gross way.
Disgusting.
But dude, she does seem like the kind of girl you'd see down the rock and metal club on a Friday night. But still, no, I just thought like, I think people really like Paige. I genuinely feel that way. So I didn't initially see that heel turn coming.
No,
but I think it's working. I will concede that. I think it's working.
What I will say,
I think
David,
it's gonna work.
I was a bit disappointed that they didn't string it out a bit more, string out her Paige's turn on AJ a bit long for a couple more weeks, maybe at SummerSlam. I don't know. So I guess we should move on to Raw.
It is a bit sudden because it's like, what's your beef with each other? You know, but it is a bit sudden, but I still like it. I think it can work.
Yeah, I didn't. To be honest, I didn't really see any more of Battlegrounds. I should preface, I do have the network available to me, as you know. What I find with the WWE network, it's just so easy to because you haven't paid £17 or whatever it is on Sky specifically for one pay-per-view, you don't feel the need to have to watch it. Does that make sense? That's what I'm finding.
Yes, it does. Yeah, that's a concern.
Yeah, because it's like a Netflix subscription. You just pay it off. You pay.
I can watch it tomorrow.
Exactly, and there's
no urgency.
But then if you do that, then Raw comes, and then I feel like I have to watch Raw because that's on Sky, and I want to keep up to date with Raw. And then
a lot of the time is a lot of the reason why I don't watch SmackDown is not because it's a tape show. I don't mind that. It's the fact that it airs here in England Friday nights, and America too, actually, I think, nowadays. But it airs Friday night. Most people are out Friday nights and Saturday nights. Sunday, whatever. And, then Monday comes around. I ain't got time to watch SmackDown.
And in my opinion, it doesn't ever progress a storyline. It is almost...
It doesn't anymore. No,
it's almost like
probably did at one point.
Of course, of course.
But I've no reason to watch SmackDown.
I agree
at all.
I haven't watched it since mid 2000s. I would say.
Yeah, probably the same.
Which is a shame.
Anyway, sorry. So no, I didn't watch much else on the card either. What were the rest of the results? Have you got them?
I don't to hand. No. All we know.
Well, the Rollins and Ambrose match didn't really get off the ground.
Yeah,
I think that's okay though.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying that feud. That's good. I like that feud.
Yeah, that's going to be a good blow off on SummerSlam if that is the blow off.
Yeah.
The main event was John Cena, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and Kane. Mm-hmm. But again, John Cena retained. I've got no problem with that, but it was predictable. We all knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
They would have been, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, they would have been better served sticking the title on Kane or Randy Orton at the last pay-per-view and swerving, have John Cena win it this one, go on to SummerSlam to defend.
Yeah.
I don't know why they put it on John Cena last month.
But I suppose we should then move on to Raw the following
Sure.
night, Monday Night Raw.
Which was a good show, by the way.
It was very good. I loved it. Raw
I
has
didn't
been...
make much of...
Sorry. I was just going to say, Raw for the past few weeks has been excellent in my opinion. Well, I would say since WrestleMania, really, it's been a few weeks here and there, but not. It's been more consistently good, I would say.
You get the odd one here or there. You will hear this a lot, especially on Twitter and on the internet. The 3-hour format is not working. I tend to agree, but you are seeing good matches. You are seeing a lot of development of people. I can't complain about that.
What would you say to going back to a brand split? Would that help?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so. No, not at all.
Not
I don't
by
think so.
reduce Raw by now and go back to brand split and then actually have SmackDown as a meaningful show again?
Well, if the thing is with a brand split, they never did it right. They always had guys crossing over all the time. They always had, there was a period where, whether it was your Batistas or your Cenas or your Lashleys or whoever it was at that time, they were on every show.
Yeah.
So it meant nothing. Absolutely nothing. So no, I don't think you need a brand split, but I do think you need to continue the stories on SmackDown, and you just need to make sure everyone's featured, everyone's in something meaningful. That's all.
Yeah.
Don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just keep it spinning.
I think at the end of the day, good storylines, good characters. It's all you need, isn't it? Really, it's all you need.
I think so. I mean,
it's all you need.
But going into Raw, sorry, not to get
to digress. Yes, Raw. I thoroughly enjoyed Raw, like we said.
I did.
What I would say, I've made some notes here.
Mm-hmm.
The Kane and Randy Orton opening segment was tough to watch. Those two guys, I really personally, I cannot stand Kane and Randy Orton. I think they're been totally played out. They need to go.
I love Kane. I really do.
Oh God!
Sorry.
No, mate.
Sorry.
You're entitled to that opinion. Of course you are.
I love Kane. But I don't think he's been used to his fullest at all. Randy's the boring part of that to me. The way that is playing out, I agree with you. The way it's playing out is not interesting to me at all. I will agree with that.
Where do you see, knowing that what we know about the end of the show, which we'll come on to later, where do you see? Do you see Kane and Randy Orton ultimately now going into feud each other?
I hope not, because there's no money there. There's no the two heels, which heels should not work heels. Mm-hmm. There's nothing interesting to me about them feuding. They feuded before, and it meant nothing. Yep. Why feud them now when their interest is at their lowest? I see nothing interesting about that at all. I can see that happening, but I hope it doesn't.
Yes, I do worry that that's what the WWE will do, because they don't really have anything else for them to do. You know?
There's a while until SummerSlam, so let's see if anything else comes of this. But I'm not interested in that either. But I do like Kane.
Yeah, I was going to digress, but I won't. I'm going to stick on this point. What do you think? What do you foresee Roman Reigns is going to be doing? Do you see them maybe going into a 3-way, or do you see Roman Reigns still in the title picture?
I don't see him in the title picture for the foreseeable future, because I think that's Brock and Cena tied up for a while. Mm-hmm. You might see him against Kane and or Orton. I think that's more likely.
Yeah.
Maybe Kane 1 month, then Orton the next month. Maybe something like that, just to keep him busy for a while.
Do you foresee any return from Batista, or I assume he's going to be tied up promoting his new film, which is out at the end of the month?
I don't know how long that deal goes on for, or or if there's a plan in place for him to come back. I don't know that. I've no idea. I've not heard anything about that.
Be interesting. It just feels like, what the impression I get of the WWE at the moment is they've got the title match, which is locked on and is going to be pretty awesome, I think. And you've got It's kind
Probably
of
for the next 2 months.
yeah. The mid card just seems a bit wishy-washy, and I guess that's maybe a
Well, I think Ambrose versus Rollins is hot right now, and I think that's fine to go with. It depends what they want to do. I think Reigns versus Kane could be good if they let Kane be Kane.
yeah.
Let Kane be a monster. Let him beat Roman Reigns' ass for a while.
I think his character's just become so vanilla, and
Yeah.
Kane. I'm talking about now.
Yep.
It's got no edge to. I think that was born from him being corporate Kane, where he was just a corporate pussy for Triple H for I don't know a couple of months.
Yeah, I never understood that.
No, it's strange, isn't it? Very strange. But
But you know what? There's something to be said. At the end of the day, the guy's 7 foot tall. The guy's 300 plus pounds. He can still come in and kill anybody. So it's easier to put him into that place than Randy Orton.
Yeah.
If you follow what I mean.
Yeah. How old is Kane now? Do you know? Is he late 40s?
Oh,
He must be getting on, surely.
mid to late, yeah, I think so.
But he's not as old as the Undertaker, is he? Because the Undertaker's 50 now,
No,
I believe.
but he's not far off though.
Yeah.
40s, 40 something.
And I'll give him his due. He can still, he still gets about the ring. He's not like he's a shambling wreck like the Undertaker is quickly becoming.
Absolutely not.
Mm.
Oh, and
No.
I resent that slightly as well. That's for another day. Maybe the next WrestleMania for us to debate that, but that's for another time. No,
Certainly.
Kane's good. Kane is good. I don't see anybody hating on Kane other than the way he's used.
Yeah. What I will say is in that opening match, it was a handicap match, wasn't it? It was Kane,
Yes.
Orton versus Roman Reigns. I really want Roman Reigns to have a new finisher. I hate as a move. I hate the spear. I don't know what it is about a spear. I just don't like it as a finisher.
Maybe they're just overused.
And the
I
Superman
think he
punch.
does it well.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of that either, to be honest.
I think he needs some kind of. I don't know, a power bomb
Dominator or something like that.
a cutting move or something like that. I don't know. He needs something other than the Superman punch.
Maybe I don't see that happening because they've kind of got it over. But
yeah, it's true. This is all just my personal opinion, Dave. To be honest.
no, I'm with you on it, but I don't see that happening. Yeah, I had a bit of a debate on Twitter on Monday night with that stuff, and they were shitting on Roman Reigns, saying,
Really?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of backlash. I think they are foreseeing the next Batista.
Oh, really?
You know,
that's a bit harsh. I think Roman Reigns.
I think so too.
I think Roman Reigns has charisma. I think
He does. It's not a vocal sort of. He's no Dusty Rhodes, baby.
No.
He's more like
very good. Very good.
Thank you. He's more of the quieter. He can cut it, but it's more physical charisma.
Yeah, but I also get the impression that he's kind of constrained by his character. He was always the quiet, silent, deadly one in the Shield, wasn't he?
He was the killer.
Yeah, and I think they need to develop his character, let him loose a bit more. To be honest,
a little bit. And I think in the ring he's fine as well. You can't put him with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins for 18 months and not expect him to pick up a few things.
No, I know, mate.
I think he's going to be absolutely fine in that role. But they can't, just don't make him do cheesy things like, don't make him to do Cena type things, Batista type things with the crowd, with the kids.
No comedy either.
No comedy. Just let him be a badass. It's been so long since we've just had a badass. Where have they gone?
That's true. It's very true. I think they went with the Attitude Era, didn't they? Probably.
A little bit, maybe a bit after, but it's been a while, definitely.
Moving on to the Divas match. That was a strange. When the Divas, it was like a 4-man gang of Divas came out, and I know
which one was that?
It was.
Yes.
Rosa Mendez.
I don't remember. Nikki Bella against 4
Yes.
girls.
The point I was going to make was I was just surprised that Rosa Mendes was still hired by the company. To be honest.
Oh yeah, she's in. I was a little bit too, but she's in the next Total Divas apparently.
I see. Ah, mate, I need
Yeah.
to go on. I need to go on to that with you
Yeah,
later
no
on.
spoilers, no spoilers.
No,
but,
no. What I will say
Yeah,
is,
sorry, just to explain that, listeners, I've seen all of the Total Divas so far. Stu has seen the first 3 or something.
yes,
First 3 episodes or something. I've
Yes.
seen all of them.
oh, have you?
So, yeah, I've seen a lot.
How many series are there?
2 so far,
Oh, okay.
with maybe 12.
Oh,
I
you-
don't know.
You
I don't know how
bastard.
many episodes. Oh yeah, I've seen a lot, man.
Oh no. I'm gonna.
And it's
I'm
a
gonna,
good show too.
I tell
It's
you
a
what.
good show.
Well, I'm going to segue into just
Catch up
diverting off Raw for a moment. Total
Mm.
Divas is amazing. Even
a great show.
my wife Amanda, she loves it as well. Yeah, we're currently on season 1, showing on the network.
Now, what
and
just happened in the last episode? You said?
it's an episode revolving around one of the Funkadactyls wanting to get a boob job. It's complete vacuous shite, to be honest, but it's so
Fucking Valley Girl.
it's so engrossing. And what I love about it more than anything is just the insight it gives you in. I know it's all fake and they're probably all scripted, but it just gives you good.
There's got to be some of it scripted. There has to be.
Yeah, it gives you really good insight into the lives of these wrestlers and just the background of the business, how it works, and
It's a cool show, man.
it really is.
I can't stop watching it. Like, as soon as a new episode's out, I've got to go find it.
It has made me hate John Cena even more.
You're a bit into the first season. You'll hate him a lot towards the end of the first season, and then you will start liking him again.
Oh, I just hate his massive shiny house, and his.
Oh yeah, that's a
it's
good
such.
house.
Him and Nikki Bella are perfect for each other because they're two complete douchebags.
He does something towards the end of the first season that you will frown on.
Really?
He does some heel shit. He turns heel in.
Really?
The only place you'll see him turn heel in the end of season 1.
Brilliant. Excellent. I can't wait. But yeah, I love that show.
It is a good show.
What I was going to say is, strangely enough, I actually find Brie Bella really endearing, and that leads me from
She's
Total
awesome.
Divas. Yeah, she really is down to earth, such a good sense of humour, such a good wholesome girl. What I will say is that leading on to Raw, it's strange for me to say that the best, most entertaining feud right now is between Brie Bella and Stephanie McMahon. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
I don't know if I'd say most, but yes, it is a good one.
And I'm not ashamed to say it.
No,
I love
no
that
shame in
feud.
that whatsoever. I think there is something strange about watching Stephanie get into that kind of argument with one of the girls.
I love it.
And
do you know the power I have?
That sounded more like Luna. R.I.P. I love Luna.
Oh, dear. That's great.
Sable.
Oh dear. Stephanie getting arrested was the highlight for me. It was really
That was a good
hilarious. Hilarious.
But that little match, that was a nothing match. It was just a thing to further the story. And they're on about going on to a Nikki versus Brie feud.
Really?
I don't know. That's the rumor. I mean, it kind of makes sense because Nikki's getting her ass kicked because she's Brie's sister, basically.
Do you think we're going to get a Steph Brie match at SummerSlam? I should say. Is Steph going to get back in the ring?
Maybe.
I want Stephanie to be Divas champion. That's what I want.
It's got to go somewhere.
The campaign starts now.
Somehow Brie's got to come back in, and it might be against Steph. I don't see who else they put in there.
Was there any? I'm not sure if you read the dirt sheets, but was there any specific reason why Brie was off screen for a few weeks? Was she injured or was she pregnant?
No. A, I don't read the dirt sheets,
Okay.
and B, I'll read the old rumor, but I'm not a dirt sheet guy by any means. No, not that I know of. No.
Okay.
I have no idea why she's off.
No, it just seemed a bit strange for me. But anyway,
Looking after her husband, maybe.
Yes, probably tending to his every need.
Yes.
Which brings me on
Sexual or otherwise.
well, yes. That brings me on to my next note that I made. I get the impression that as each week goes on, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, they slowly become more and more irrelevant to the universe, as it were.
Well, Punk should be more and more irrelevant to the universe because he's not there.
Yeah.
I think that when Daniel Bryan gets back, it'll be Yes Mania all over again.
Do you think so?
I think so. Yeah.
I suspect.
So long as he does that, yes. Yes, I think it will be all over the place.
I worry that was his one shot, and that was just a unique moment in time, and that's it.
No, he's a vet. He knows how to get over.
I hope
He'll
so.
come back in, and no, he'll do it.
Good.
He'll do it again.
I hope so. Do you think CM Punk will actually ever come back?
Press mute on my thing there because I needed to burp.
Right.
Not like your wife, I wouldn't just burp on.
Why not?
Because I'm a Renaissance man. Will Punk come back? Yeah, probably one day, but not in a long time. I don't think so.
I have my doubts, I must admit.
I don't think he'll be back anytime soon.
I think that I saw on Twitter
I think
this
we're
week.
talking years, not months.
Do you think so? That'd be a shame. I saw on Twitter this week that he was interviewed on a red carpet for some awards bash, I believe, somewhere in America, and they asked him if he would ever return to the WWE ring, and he was saying no, never, never, ever, 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 but I think he said it in such a way that he was leaving the door open, as it were. I don't think his business is quite done with the WWE.
No, I don't think his wrestling business is done by any stretch of the imagination. But I don't think you'll see him back in any capacity anytime soon. I think it's proof he is, not months. I think he was so pissed off with business, not with his spot, but with business. I don't think the WWE that we see day in, day out today is the WWE that he wants to be a part of.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Unfortunately, he has made a big enough name for himself now that just to go back for one match would be money. So further down the line, even though he is getting older, that could be an option for him. We'll see.
Yeah.
Steve Austin has said quite a lot on his podcast, the biggest mistake of his career was walking out on the WWE after a booking issue with Brock Lesnar because he left money on the table. That's what Punk has done, essentially, but Punk has his money.
Yes.
He's got his money.
Yeah,
he
can't
for the rest of his life if he wants to.
He can't be short of a few bob, could he? Really?
No, he's all right. Bear in mind that last deal he signed, that 3-year deal, was signed on the day of that Money in the Bank pay-per-view, July 17th, 2011, whatever it was. That had to be for a few pennies.
Yeah.
That wasn't for a small amount of money.
Come back,
He's all right.
Come back, CM Punk. We miss you.
Sorry. We do miss him, and I'm not hating on him. I just don't think he'll be back anytime soon.
Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs.
Where do we go from there? We got lost there.
Miz. I want to talk Miz with you, David. I'm glad the Miz is Intercontinental Champion.
I'm not.
I like the Miz. I like heel Miz. I don't like face Miz. I like 2009, whenever it was, WrestleMania headlining heel Miz. I think the Miz is all right. I think he gets a bad rap. Are you gonna disown me?
Oh, I'm not gonna disown you, but I may shit all over your opinion. Fuck. I can't stand the Miz, heel or face. I can't. Okay. Explain to me why you like the Miz, and I will listen.
Okay. Okay. You put me on the spot now. How do I explain this love? I
What is he good at?
I just think he's a very good cocky heel. I just think he
Okay, so far that brings him up to sort of your sort of Zeb Coulter, Jim Cornette kind of manager status.
Okay.
Cocky heel. Okay.
Yeah. Now I can't justify his excellence in the ring. I think he's all right, but he's certainly not the worst in the company, I would say. I just if used correctly, I think that's the key. I think the Miz can draw and can be a success.
Draw.
Mm.
Do you think draw thousands and thousands of people? I'm not comfortable with that statement. I don't think that at all. I don't see that in him, and I don't mean to. I don't know him personally. Obviously, I've got nothing against him personally. I just do not see him as a star at all because he's not. And it's nothing to do with size. He's probably the same height as me. He's probably similar weight as me. It's nothing to do with that. He looks very clean. He talks like a badass, even though he's got the most baby-faced, puffy-faced, I've just been jogging sort of look to him. He's not a great promo. I'm sorry to say that because I know people say he is, but he's not. And what I mean by I'll back that up. I'll back up that statement. He will always, when he's a heel, he tries to get laughs.
Mm-hmm.
Which you shouldn't do. When he's a babyface, he shits on people. I don't get what he's doing. There might be something there, but I don't get it, and I don't see it. Please just defend it. Go for it.
To be honest, David, I'm not sure I can. I maybe it's just a personal feeling that I get with the Miz, but I like his character more than anything. I just like the I'm a Hollywood big shot. I do like that. I like how they're tweaking that and how he's coming out with the shades and the big.
What if they stuck that gimmick on Dolph Ziggler? Because I know for Miz it's not a gimmick because he was on MTV and that kind of shit. But what if they stuck it on Dolph Ziggler? Dolph Ziggler stuck in a pair of fucking Ray-Bans and a suit, and he was just coming out there talking about what a big star he is. I believe that a bit more.
Yeah.
With Miz, I don't get it. I don't see him being like this handsome sex symbol, and I don't see him being this big movie star. I just see him being this guy that's not that tough, not that intimidating, and not that funny. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Miz, if you are listening, just give up.
Well, no, I'm not saying give up. I'm. See, you're trying to make me the heel. I don't like the Miz. That's fine. If you like the Miz, you by all means defend him, but you're not saying anything for him.
No, I know. I think I just love his hair. Perhaps I'm just jealous. It's jealousy. It's all it is.
The new hair, or the
Hawk.
Or his old hat.
Oh God, yeah. I forgot about that. It's what I do find it quite interesting. His journey within WWE, because he was completely and utter joke at one stage. You would argue he still is. I would argue that he is developed.
No, I wouldn't say he was an utter joke. He has come a long way, but go on.
I appreciate how far and how willing he has been to learn his craft, and he's certainly a lot better than what he was.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, it's like he has come far. He has tried to learn his craft, but I don't think he's learnt it.
No, he's still
I'm not convinced he
some
has.
way to go.
I mean, when he turned babyface, he was still getting fucking booze.
He can't win.
He can't win.
Just kill yourself, Miz.
That's a Miz fan saying that.
Doesn't bode well for him, does it? The poor bugger.
Sorry, Mike. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Did he do something this week? Did he? Oh, yes,
What
he
did he-
did,
what did
because
he
I
do?
went for a slash.
Oh, is that your toilet break? Your designated toilet / Ms.
Yeah,
break.
because now Paige is on. I watch for divas.
What did Ms. do? Oh my god.
He did something. I saw him come out, and I thought,
He
oh
did.
yeah, piss break. Great.
I think I might have had that on plus ×6 on the Sky Plus box. I fast forwarded it.
Mine's times 30 every time.
That's how much I love the Miz.
Oh, times 30.
I think we've discussed the Miz to some length. I think we can move on now to Cesaro.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. No
Um,
longer a
no,
Heyman guy.
what do you make of that? That just seems
random.
a bit. It was, wasn't it? He just threw that out there. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
it's just like, no, not associated anymore. Oh, well, okay.
That's an interesting 6 weeks of his career, I
Yeah.
suppose.
I
can understand.
I think it's okay.
I can understand why. I
He
don't
has
know.
the potential to be a big baby face. Just let him do it.
Mm,
Heyman's not going to turn him into a baby face. So
No.
just let him go off and do his thing, I guess.
yeah, I don't see why they obviously coupled him with Paul Heyman for a reason. I just don't.
I'm not sure what that reason was,
No,
but yeah.
I just don't see why they think now that Lesnar is back. Obviously, Heyman has to give his full attention to that feud, but I can't. I don't understand
It
why he
might have
can't
something to
manage
do with
two people at the same time. That would have been fine with me. I would have
It might
accepted
have
that.
something to do with it, but at the same time, well, maybe there is something to be said for that. If Heyman's managing two guys, the guy in the main event, which will be Brock Lesnar, will always look far superior to the guy just down below.
Yeah,
So maybe there is something to be said for that.
possibly. I don't think.
I don't know if that's the reason, but
No, and I don't think not being with Paul Heyman will harm Cesaro in any way.
no,
I think
there's
he's
far
a good
more
enough
money in him.
is a good enough talent to succeed with or without
Yeah.
Paul Heyman. To be honest,
And right now, I think there's more money in him as a babyface than a heel. So just let him go.
yeah, let him do his thing. Let him do his swing.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Just a quick point. And Natalia had a match who I despise from watching Total Divas season 1. I should say.
What?
Can't
You're
stand
not
her.
far enough in. What,
Can't,
really?
Can't stand the fact that she was going to break up with what's his name, dude who used to have funny
Tyson
hair,
Kidd?
Tyson Kidd, just because he gave more attention to the cat.
Oh, come on. She looked smoking sound on the couch, and he was interested in the fucking
The pussy.
moggy. Well, no, he wasn't interested
No.
in the pussy. He was interested in the moggy.
That's true.
Fucking Tyson. No, he's. No, I disagree with you on that. No, she's a great wrestler.
I love Total Divas.
I do too. We should just do a show about
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, and Tanya, I found it quite shocking that she can't. For me, she can't. It doesn't look like she can apply a sharpshooter correctly. She doesn't really sit back on them. She just kind of stands there. You'd think that kind of she's been doing that since birth, kind of.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Sort of. I mean, it's not as bad as The Rock's.
No.
The Rock's worse sharpshooter. I gave better sharpshooters than that than the playground.
That's just a small observation I made.
Yeah, maybe she doesn't want to break legs. I don't know.
That's true.
I'm not sure.
That's true.
I think maybe the psychology there is just the image of the sharpshooter is enough.
Maybe
you don't have to pull back on it.
No, that is probably true. Perhaps I'm just being overly
mean to
critical.
defend it too much on that, but
no, mate. No.
There might be this psychology there.
What I want to ask you, David, is
Mm-hmm.
the WWE's fascination with evil British heels with their evil British accents.
We are generally evil people.
I appreciate that, but why is it that the WWE seemingly can't make a good British face wrestler work.
Well, I think we were talking just off air about Davey Boy Smith. They did kind of make that work for a while.
Yeah.
But where are you going with that?
I'm just saying, it's just an observation I made. I
don't know.
All
I
the
think maybe
all the
there's
British
that
wrestlers.
stereotype. I think it's playing up on a stereotype. And
Yeah, I think it probably is.
Okay with that.
And I'm highly insulted by this.
Oh, are you? Why?
I'm taking umbrage.
Really? I
No,
don't
no,
take
no,
umbrage
I'm
with that at all.
I'm not.
I think that's actually kind of a. I own that. Yeah, fuck it. We're all villains.
I just found it quite funny that I just really want. There's two things I want. I want another SummerSlam in the UK or pay-per-view in the UK, and I want that to be headlined by a good British face wrestler. Yeah, that's all I want. That's all I'm asking.
Well, you know what? Any British wrestler that were to headline that pay-per-view would be a babyface. Just by proxy, not that they were.
That's true.
You know, so you only have to wish for the first thing.
I do hope that happens one day.
I think the time has probably passed, either a couple of years ago, or they could have done it. Think about this: they could have done it either in 2012, because the Olympics would have been happening at the same time, London, centre of the world, and 20-year anniversary of SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Or the year after, 21st anniversary, and all that shit could have gone down. But for some reason they didn't, and I don't see them doing it anytime soon. So
speaking on SummerSlam just briefly, I do wish they'd get out of this fixation with wanting to be in the Staples Center. Yeah, all the time, every year. I would love an outdoor SummerSlam.
Outdoor, something different.
Yeah,
something different.
I don't think they're giving SummerSlam the gravitas that it probably deserves. But it's just me.
Yeah. I was trying to figure that out a while ago. Maybe they just want to give all their employees a beach holiday or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I'm not sure, but I agree with you on that. Have we got anything else on Raw?
We do.
What else? Go on.
Was it me, or did I spot a little teaser for a new Nation of Domination? Three black wrestlers in the ring. Obviously, they're going to be doing something with it. I don't know if it's going to be called the Nation of Domination. I'm not.
I doubt it.
I doubt if you can get away with that in a PG era WWE, but similar thing.
Yeah, they're kind of reborn the Nation of Domination. That'd be random.
But just
I don't.
A stable of a similar theme, and
I hope so, because that would actually be quite an adult theme for them to do.
It would.
It would be like all the brothers aren't getting their opportunity, sort of thing. I think that would actually be an interesting.
I don't know why I'm laughing at that. I just appreciated
doing a black guy impression.
Appreciated your impression. Anyway.
I really do genuinely hope it goes that way, because I think that's an adult thing to do. It's not a controversial thing to say. I don't think so.
No. Who was, just out of interest, who was the guy who was, obviously you had Kofi Kingston, and you had, what's his face? Yeah, Big E. Who's the other chap?
Xavier Woods?
Okay. Yeah.
Go with a throw, yeah?
Yeah. I just wanted to.
The rumours right now, again, I'm not a big Dershi guy, but the one rumour I have heard right now, and I think this should be the leader of it if this is true, Mark Henry.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would be quite good.
Because he was in the Nation of Domination, and he's a fucking talker. He can cut a promo to kill any.
Awesome theme tune as well.
That'd be cool.
Talking about
Mark Henry theme tune?
Yeah, breaking people's backs and all that kind of business. Love it.
Somebody gonna get their ass kicked.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
We need to do a podcast where we just get drunk and sing
themes?
versions of, WWE theme tunes. Incidentally, have you
Well,
seen William Shatner doing the WWE theme tunes?
yes, I have.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yes,
I'm
I
gonna.
have. So
That's gonna
I've
be.
repeated. Is that going to be on the podcast
I think.
tonight?
I think I might insert
It
that
may have to.
somewhere. Pardon the
I
expression.
think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy.
Oh dear. Digressing slightly further, yesterday. Don't ask me why I was searching for this, but he's also covered Pulp's "Common People." It's tremendous.
Of course I know that. I'm a musician, of course I know that.
It's tremendous.
She came from Greece. She had a thirst for knowledge. She studied sculpture at St. Martin's College. That's where I
Caught her eye. Oh my days!
amazing.
Yeah, Shatner, love him.
Ugh.
And my only real thing to say about Raw is obviously the main event for SummerSlam was announced, as it were, John Cena
Yep.
versus Brock Lesnar, and that is certainly a match that I could get behind.
Me
and
too.
I'm quite
Again,
excited
there's a
about.
lot. Again, I warn you, there's a lot of feeling out there that they don't want to see it. A lot of people
No,
don't
I
want
love
to see
it.
it.
I
And
can't
I don't
wait.
get it. Yeah, I can't wait for that. Fucking
Yeah.
Brock versus Cena again.
Yeah.
Like, if they've done it once, and it was the most brutal match of
Yeah.
2012, I think.
Yeah.
I'm all up for that again.
Yeah.
Cena's taking some shoot fucking elbows to the face. What?
Incidentally, who do you think is going to come out the champion?
Brock.
I'll let you vent, and then she'll give you my thoughts.
I think Brock will come out of that one because, and not to get into the predictable route again, I think the rumor is right now that he will also do Night of Champions, which is the next pay-per-view onwards.
Mhm.
So the logical decision would be have Brock win the title from Cena at SummerSlam, have Cena then beat Brock back the month after, and then, my friend, Cena would be a 16-time
That's what they want.
world champion, just like Ric Flair.
Yeah. Woo!
Woo!
I also think
I think
Brock-
that's the logical decision. But I mean, even if you're not a Cena fan, I'm interested to see those matches because that first match was brutal.
Yeah.
Really
I think Brock will win only because I think we need some kind of payoff from him breaking the streak, and I think the logical rub off from that will be for him to beat Cena. Cena gets a bit of a rub from that, I guess, just because and he's beaten Cena and he's beaten the Undertaker, and I think that's the logical way. But
I think so.
This is the WWE. You never know. They might make Cena win at SummerSlam, and that may lead into a rematch, which the Brock may eventually win. I don't know, but I think ultimately Brock Lesnar will be the champion at some point in the next few.
Yeah, I would bet money, although you could argue this is predictable too. Brock winning at SummerSlam, then Cena takes it back in Night of Champions. But if that is the case, I'm interested to see those matches because I think they'll kill each other. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
They'll physically destroy each other. The other thing that I would throw in there, well, actually two things. How do you feel about John Cena being a 16-time world champion? Is that as insulting to you as some people have said on Twitter?
It's not. I'm conflicted with Cena. I appreciate everything he does outside of the ring with his charity work and his philanthropy, if you like, and all that kind of side that comes with being the champion and the face of the company. But I'm also conflicted because I feel there's far better wrestlers out there, far better talkers out there that probably deserve it more than Cena. And there's a certain sense of me that's bored of what Cena is doing and what Cena has done. But 15 championships is 15 championships. He's got to be. He has to be doing something right. Whether it's kissing the right arse, I don't know. But
I don't even think it's that. I think it's just like he's been along. Not a whole lot of guys have got to his level, and they just keep flipping it around. And hey, it's come to 15 now, and probably 16 come September.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I get the impression that WWE want him to be their greatest champion of all time, just because he's their boy,
And he
really, isn't
wouldn't
he?
be a bad shout for it, quite honestly. He's not as bad a wrestler as everyone likes to chant he is. He is actually a very, maybe not a great wrestler, but a very good worker when he
Yeah.
wants to be.
Yeah.
And look at any of those fucking Punk Cena matches, just for reference. They're amazing.
Yeah,
They really are.
They are.
So, the one last thing that I would want to go to, we prefaced it, but we didn't get to it, would be the AJ versus Paige thing. Paige's heel turn.
Yeah. I loved it, to be honest.
I did too. I wasn't sure about it at first because I'm English and I'm perverted and I love Paige. So I wasn't sure about her turning heel, but it did work. I think it does work.
It does, and I think I buy Paige more as a heel than as a baby face.
Yeah, I see it. I see it, and I wasn't sure that people would be so into AJ as they were, but they were. So I think it works out quite well. I don't know where they're going with it, but I think it could be quite good.
The only thing I will say, I said to you earlier, was that I wish they may have just extended,
gone a bit longer with their story.
Made the heel turner do that in a few weeks, maybe at SummerSlam or whenever.
I never got the impression is like, why are you guys friends again? Why are you trying to get along? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. So
it didn't really. It didn't make sense that they were really best friends, trying to be friends,
but not really, and it was just a strange thing. But I think they can have a really good match, and I think people will be into it too because I think you've got two girls there that people like
and can work,
and can work. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. Yes, it's one of the better feuds on the on the card at the moment. So it's just nice to get a diva match that's.
And I'm up for that.
Good.
Page fans, hit me up. Share some raunchy pictures with me if you will.
If my wife is listening, I take no pride in that whatsoever. I am not.
Send her some too.
Anyway, I think that kind of about wraps up our wrestling chat. We've been going.
I guess so. Just one very brief thing.
Certainly.
The great. There's a couple of signings now with Kenta and with Prince Devitt.
Yes.
Prince Devitt and Kenta both being signed to the WWE. I would only bring this up because this is very different. This is the WWE going out and signing two guys who made a big name for themselves in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
This is unusual. Why are they going now to Japan to find new stars? I can only imagine that this is Triple H's kind of thing because he was the guy that signed Sin Cara. He was the guy that signed Karma. He is looking for guys who are making their own names. And I think that's a good thing. I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would show some concern, and I hope they handle these signings and manage these wrestlers better than they managed Sin Cara, because I think that was just a disaster.
Yes, agreed.
But I mean, I don't.
Karma
I'll be honest.
Was too, but not for WWE's fault.
No.
But from what I've heard, they're going to go to NXT. They're going to learn American style, TV style, rather than just come on Raw and do your thing. So I think there's going to be a good transition period there. I think this could be really good.
Good. Yeah, I hope so. And just to go further on that, I think I do appreciate. I hate the man and the wrestler, but I do appreciate what he's doing for the company. I'm talking about Triple H at the moment.
Really?
I like what he's doing behind the scenes. I get the impression that he's making.
I wouldn't say I hate him as a wrestler, but
I just.
Hey, let's look at it this way. What was his last match? Think about it. Think about it. And think about it. And think about it.
Enlighten me.
WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan.
Of course it was.
Could he have made him look any better?
No, that's true. Yeah. I don't think
he's in it for himself anymore.
No. I think you're probably right. Perhaps it's just being involved with the company as a whole. He's appreciated. Oh, I don't know what I'm trying to
Maybe.
say.
Well,
don't know.
I think that if he's in the position of hiring talent, he's not going to be looking at the bodybuilders. He's going to be looking at the wrestlers, and I think that's good for us as fans.
Perhaps he's got his business head on now, which is
Well,
fair enough.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so exciting times then, really.
I think so. I think it's interesting, if nothing else. If the WWE stock is falling as fast as has been reported, then I actually think that's kind of a good thing because they're going to fight.
Yeah, in adversity comes, I don't know, creativity, doesn't it? Really, I suppose.
Absolutely, competition breeds creativity. Oh, and one final thing: Sting is signed to the WWE, but is not appearing. So make of that what you will.
Whatever.
No, he probably will, but there was a rumor a couple of weeks ago that he'd be on Raw.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And he was, sort of.
Yes.
he was an advert for the game.
So I suspect the Sting thing will be a one match at WrestleMania type deal. I suspect it'll probably be against The Undertaker, but I just hope it isn't. Because I worry that'll be a terrible, terrible match, but
I'd rather see Brock Undertaker 2, see Taker get his revenge. But yeah, definitely give Sting a match. Give him a couple of matches, as far as I'm concerned. I think it could do money. Sting versus Cena, that could be all right.
That could be good. Could be a good
feud.
So, we've been talking wrestling.
We've talked wrestling a lot.
55 minutes.
Fuck.
All good stuff. I think we'll just take a quick break.
Good luck editing this, son.
To be honest, it's all right. I think there's no real, errors or. I'm keeping swears in,
Good man.
But editing should be fine. We're going to talk a little bit of video games, but I can't imagine this will be a large segment because we don't want this to be a 4-hour epic show. But I will just touch on some stuff we've been playing. So we'll take a quick break, refill our drinks, and do our business, as it were. And we'll see you soon. And welcome back to the Skin Bear podcast. You join myself, Stuart Skin Bear Garrard, and my excellent new co-host, Mr. David Bridge. We've been chatting away. We've been chatting.
David Robert Bridge, motherfucker.
I stand corrected, Mr. Dave, His Eminence, Sir David Robidge. Sorry. Oh my God. Sir David Robert Bridge.
Me and you are going to have a feud. This is going
to
be...
dear. Fuck, what was I talking about? What were we talking about? Oh, games. Yes, video games. Well, this week, I really haven't been playing much, to be honest. Just to give David a brief background of the kind of stuff I play and whatnot, and the kind of consoles that I've got. I mean, I know David is a huge retro gamer. Personally, I love my retro stuff. I crack out my Super Nintendo every now and again to play, as you know, to play some Super Star Wars, etc., or my GameCube, etc. Mostly Nintendo. But recently, I've been playing my PS4, and specifically the Destiny beta was released a few days ago. That's a Freudian slip. If you don't know, Destiny is the latest game by Bungie, who
He had a
are
great time a few days ago.
very good, very good. That's thrown me.
Hey, I just threw in a joke and it brought the show to a grinding halt. Fantastic. Sorry.
It's all right.
So you were playing your Super Nintendo. And
No. Get it right. I was playing my PlayStation 4.
Your PS4, sorry.
Yes, I was playing the Destiny beta. I've pre-ordered the game, so I have access to the beta. So Destiny is a first-person shooter set in in space. Kind of got role-playing, massively MMO RPG elements to it. So you're flying about doing all these kind of. Oh, I'm boring myself, to be honest. Destiny, it's a shooter. Terrible.
You want me to join in here? What's going on? Why?
I don't know.
Is there some sort of shooting game that you're on about?
It's the gin. It's getting to me.
Gin, man up.
Mother's
You were playing
podcasts
a space
ruin.
shooting game.
I
You're
was
playing a space shooting game. Come on, professionalize.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Back in the room, and yeah, I was playing Destiny, space shooting, space.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
I was playing a space shooting game. Like my niece, she's like, "Hi, Clementine."
Anyway, okay. Destiny is a first-person. Destiny is a first-person shooter game set in space on other. What am I doing?
What's wrong with you?
I can't see.
He tries to clear the fog off his glasses. Folks, I don't know what's going on. What are you doing?
Okay, Destiny is a first-person game set in set in space.
Right, space. We got that. We're in there.
Okay, and it's all right. It's
We're in space and we're shooting shit. Carry on.
we are, and it's all right. It's just a bit. What I'm finding with modern games, particularly of this new generation, as it were, is they're so incredibly dull. I've covered this on previous podcasts, but they are just so. They're by the numbers, so generic. I hate using generic as a term of
The criticism.
criticism. But do you know what I mean? There's no love.
I hate games being generic. It's
they're
doing it to us, not us reviewing them.
I fully expect I'll probably buy Destiny, but it goes back to what I was saying about Watch Dogs a few shows ago.
What's the big problem with this game?
With Destiny itself,
Yeah.
there's no. I mean, it's well constructed, and I've been kind of enjoying the gameplay, but it's just. I don't know whether it's just a problem with the design itself. I don't know. It's just
Is it bad AI, bad controls, bad story?
AI is fantastic. I think it's just a personal connection between me and the game. I'm not enjoying the setting or the. Perhaps I'm just bored of first-person shooters in general. I don't think it necessarily brings anything new to it. I think the only interesting thing that Destiny is doing is it's melding the first-person shooter and say the aspects of role-playing games, but that's not really a new concept. Games like Borderlands have been doing that before. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is only the beta, so it's purely there to I assume to test.
Yeah.
To test server loads and what have you. But I think my problem isn't with Destiny the game itself, it's just with gaming in general. I just I think I'm falling out of love with it. I don't know what it is.
With gaming?
I think so. And I never thought I would hear myself say that, but
It was a bad time to start a podcast about it.
well, I never. Shit, yeah, little bugger. No, to be honest, I never really saw this show having gaming as its centre. I just that would be kind of one asset to it. It's just a shame. I'm looking for something, a game or anything, just to reignite my passion again. Really,
relight my fire.
Yeah,
That kind of like
precisely. I need my PS4 Lulu. Is what I need. What that is, God knows. But Destiny is okay.
90s kids will love that reference.
But yeah, it's just not boring, but it's not, like you say, igniting my fire. It's not exciting me. It's not. I've yet to find that killer
what are you looking for?
game on a PS4.
Action? You looking for story, or what are you after?
Good question. What am I looking for?
Tell us, consumer.
I think I'm looking for a bit of ingenuity. Is what I want. A bit of individuality, some creativity, something that hasn't been done before. I don't want FIFA 16. I don't want Call of Duty 23. I don't want that. Bores me.
Do you think Paige will be in the next WWE game?
I know where you're going with this. You dirty pervert.
No, I'm not. No.
Or does that say more about me than you?
It says a lot about men.
Yeah. I reckon she will. Yeah, she's got to be.
Yeah, she should be.
That's the point. I saw they're holding a special announcement event at some Nokia center in the US, where Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to be announcing the roster reveal for that game. Incredible.
Right.
Incredible. They would go to that such extravagance just to announce the roster for a bloody video game.
I might not have a console to play it on, but I might buy it if Paige is in it.
So that's really enough about my gaming. I mean, just to also carry on.
You play this game and it was in space and you didn't like it that much.
Yeah, it's a first-person game in space. I think we've ascertained that.
What game was that again? Just so we can, because this is a glowing advertisement for
that. Was Destiny. I mean, everyone's been raving about it on Twitter. I did originally rave about it myself on Twitter. I thought it was good, but just the more you play it, and I think I'm just a miserable fucker, to be honest. I think that's just
please, I've got that on. That's my gimmick.
But
well, I'll take things over a little bit. I wanted to, I spoke to Stu before we did this show, and I said, I want to throw things back a bit because I'm a retro gamer, and I don't play things new. I only play things old, and so let's throw things back to an old game. And if we're gonna do it first, if we're gonna do one first one, it's got to be a big one. It's got to be good. It's got to be a good game. It's got to be a great game, and it's got to be a big game. And the first game that sprung to mind would be Final Fantasy VII.
Booyah!
Booyah, indeed. And a lot of people will either be going, I love that game, or they'll be going, oh, for fuck's sake, that game, come on. Yeah. But I fall more into the former, because I grew up on that game and I love that game, and it was such a good game. I've been playing it for the last week for maybe the 10th time in my life or so, and I keep on finding new things. For any FF7 fan out there, I keep on finding new things. Now, Stu told me before we recorded that he has played this once.
I have.
All the way through.
Yes.
What was your opinion on it? What did you make of it?
Is this where I throw in my my anecdote? This is where I announce to the world that yes, I've played Final Fantasy VII. I loved Final Fantasy VII. I got to the last boss. I loved it, Final Fantasy VII. I got to the last boss of Final Fantasy VII, but I could not beat said boss, and I don't think I played it since. So somewhere in my mother's loft, I suspect there's a PS1 memory card with a 40-hour, or no, 60-hour save file
Maybe.
that I couldn't be bothered to finish because
Now,
I didn't have the Knights of the Round finisher.
Oh, fuck Knights of the Round. Now, to me, that's such... I said this off air. This is such the most random thing, because with Final Fantasy, you either play the game all the way through and get obsessed with it, or you play it a bit and just throw it away and think, no, I don't get it. Somehow, Stu went all the way through the game, persevered all the way through, got to the end and thought, nah.
No,
After 40 hours.
Yeah.
After 40 hours, he said, meh.
I can't follow through. I can't finish a job.
I don't get it. Did you finish any Final Fantasy game?
Oh, interesting.
Because if I'm going to feature retro games, they will come up eventually.
I don't think I did. I played 8. I didn't complete 8. That's the last one I've played. I haven't played one since 8.
Wow.
Mm.
No 10?
No 10.
Wow.
No 9. Nothing.
9 I feel indifferent about, but wow, 7. You got to play 7.
Yeah.
Well, 7's just my... 7 will be... I don't know if this is a segment, but this is a retroactive look at games. And I want to talk about 7 because 7 was one of my favourites. And the reason I want to talk about 7 this week is because I played it back and I did things a little bit differently. So, for example, there are points in the game. There are 2 characters in the game, Yuffie and Vincent, that you have to recruit. Mm-hmm. You could play the whole game all the way through. And you don't have to have them. But you have to recruit them at some point. You don't have to, but you can recruit them at some point. So I decided to recruit them under a very, very brief period where you are in control of Tifa. Okay. This is completely new to me. This is new to me completely.
Okay.
When you go to recruit Yuffie refers to Tifa as boobs.
Okay. Oh, I like her style.
Isn't that awesome? Just like Yuffie starts calling Tifa boobs.
Hello, boobs.
Hi, boobs. When she goes to meet Vincent, they get into this whole other random conversation. Just little bits like that. And I played this game since I was 12 or something, like the mid to late 90s, whenever it came out. And I'm still finding new shit to do. That is stupid. That is crazy, and that is awesome for a game of that age.
That is the sign of a very good game, a classic, isn't it?
But I'm still finding new shit to do.
Yeah.
No, not even 15. What was it, 2014 now? Came out in 97. So
yeah.
17 years ago. Fuck.
Maybe I think this could be a good section and theme to follow. Obviously, I'm falling out of love with modern gaming. Perhaps we should be concentrating on retro gaming.
Maybe. It just depends. I mean, like, if we can find some games that we can both play, or if we can find, I don't know if you're into the emulation stuff, if people want to suggest games for us to play, especially old games, SNES or Mega Drive, PlayStation, whatever, then that might be an option.
I think that, for me personally, I think that's more interesting than rehashing the same opinions as every other gaming podcast out there that's covering current games.
Every podcast you hear, it's all new stuff, and there's rightly so. They're saying, what's good, what's bad about this new stuff. But A, we're not that interested in it, and B, we're not taking ourselves too seriously, and C, we just want to enjoy stuff.
I long for my for my Nintendo days. I just love Nintendo games. I think what my problem
too.
is I need to bust out my Super Nintendo again.
We might
really
have
do.
to have a big Super Nintendo. I know we've gone long on this show already, but we may have to have another Super Nintendo conversation.
Do you know?
Nintendo conversation.
Yeah, I think what I'm getting from you is from your love of Final Fantasy VII. For me, I think the equivalent game for me would be Resident Evil 4. I have played that game so many times. I love that game. It's one of those games that I find I learn new stuff, and it's one of those games that I play at least once a year, particularly around Halloween. I find.
Well, now when did that come out?
That was when was that? Was that 2004, 5?
And how old were you then?
Oh.
You had to be in your
24. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I know it's a recent game, but it's one of those. It's
recent-ish.
Would you consider? But... What do you consider retro? How far back would you say is the cut-off point?
Oh, that is retro.
If you can do,
that's right. I guess anything over a few years, but I'm not on about retro as a theme. No. I just mean like anything that you remember fondly, anything that sort of spoke to you, anything that sort of changed you, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. I'm
down with that. Me and you could have a fucking Mario party and.
Oh, mate. Yeah, dress up as Mario in podcast.
Well, no, I wasn't going to go. Is there any way, do you think? Do you think there's any way we could play original Marios together online and see who's best? Do you think there's a way yet?
You can do it with the new Marios, but I'm not sure about classic old Mario Brothers. There probably is.
If there's a way.
There probably is. Whether that works with my Macintosh or not,
Listeners, hit us up.
Yeah.
Is there a way me and Stu can actually find out who's a better Mario brother? Do you want to be Mario or Luigi?
Luigi every time. Every time.
Fine. Man. Yeah, I was Luigi every time, but yeah, I'll be Mario.
Oh, really? Oh, dear.
Yeah, because I'm taller.
Okay. And I'm fatter, so I should be Mario. Okay.
Oh, I'm... Give me your measurements right now, bitch.
I daren't. I daren't. I think we would rock some dungarees, though.
Maybe. But I want those green ones. No, actually, no, they were all blue, weren't they?
Blue, man, yeah.
Yeah, green. What was it? Green shirt?
Green t-shirt. Green shirt, green hat, blue dungarees.
Hats, definitely.
Yeah. Do you know, if you buy certain items off the Nintendo's own official store online, that you can sometimes get, they will throw in a free either Luigi hat or Mario hat.
Oh, wow.
Incredible stuff. Well, I think you can buy them separately as well, so that's tempting.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I've got a moustache too. I think I'm just born to play a Mario brother. Maybe.
I must admit, you do. Looking at you kind of look Mario-esque. You've even got the red t-shirt on. I would say
this is
all you need is a hat.
I don't want to admit to wearing a pink t-shirt, but this is pink, not red, motherfucker.
I stand corrected. Dude's rocking puce.
Mario now.
Dude is rocking some puce.
Oh, this is a bit pink. Damn it.
I think we're
getting towards the end here, aren't we?
I think so.
A few stories here. I've thrown a few stories here because I did actually do a bit of research because I'm young and I want to impress you.
Wow.
You know. Well, here we go. I initially wanted us to do a bit of a news story thing, but hey, why not hold it off to the end? Danielle Saxton. You won't have heard of her.
No.
But Danielle Saxton is a 27-year-old pregnant woman from Frankfort, Illinois. She was remanded under police custody last Friday under suspicion of stealing a dress and several other items from a local fashion store.
Really?
Yes. Now, why on earth do you think the police would have caught her?
Had she had she secreted them somewhere?
Well, she wouldn't have shit them out of her ass. That's what secretion means. What are you on about?
Oh, actually, all right. Then, okay. In secretion, what's the opposite of that then?
What, threw them up?
Yeah.
She didn't.
No.
She did not eat them.
Okay. Well. Okay. Oh, all right.
That would have been a better story, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
No, this pregnant bitch, this dumbass woman, Danielle Saxton, 27, out of Frankfort, Illinois, stole these clothes from a clothes store and then went back to her house, tried them on, and took selfies of herself and put them on Facebook.
I tell you, selfies are going to be the downfall of man.
Ain't that awesome? Just like she just decided, yep, I got some new friends. I'm just going to take a picture of myself and I'm going to put them on Facebook. Don't I look good?
That's natural selection in action.
Natural select. Moving over to Washington State, a Seattle man who used a can of spray paint and a lighter as a makeshift blowtorch to kill a spider. What do you think happened next, son?
Some kind of explosion taking off his face.
Didn't take off his face. He did burn down his house and cause $60,000 worth of damage.
Oh dear.
$60,000 worth of damage. My third story out of 4, I'm going to go over to China here, son. Mr. Chen. Did you hear of this story? I'm sure you didn't. But Mr. Chen, no.
Carry on.
Nothing. Mr. Chen goes into a doctor's.
Yeah.
He's complaining of stomach pains.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's a married man. He's just a normal guy. He goes into his doctor's. He's complaining of stomach pains. The doctors, they can't quite figure out what's wrong with him. So they decide to do a logical thing. They decide to give him an X-ray. Give him an X-ray on his stomach, on his torso. Mm-hmm. And what do you think they found?
I like this game. I'm going to go massive butt plug.
Massive butt plug? No, nothing. No, not there. I'll give you one more chance.
In his stomach.
Not in his stomach. I'll give it in his whole body. What do you?
Okay.
His whole body, somewhere in his body. What do you think they found?
Some kind of
Mr.
what tapeworm thing? Some kind of wormy gut monster?
No, no. Good guesses all, but no. You're close, but you're not right.
Come on, come on.
Mr.
What
Chen,
is it?
They found a uterus and a couple of well-working ovaries. Mr. Chen turns out to be a woman. And he is basically a pre-op transsexual that didn't think he'd get caught.
Okay.
He's a married man, and he has to go home and explain to his wife why he's been having stomach pains, which turns out to be period pain.
Oh, period pain. Okay.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah.
And finally, my favourite.
There's a film in that somewhere.
There's got to be, surely. That's like, what was that film of that transvestite in the early 80s? What was that? Goldust referenced it once. I remember that.
I don't know. I was thinking more Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, that's for... No, he was a man who had a baby.
I know, yes.
No, that's...
Cracking film.
Yeah, it was alright. But just to take us home, here we go. Giant fart machine.
Nice. Is that how you're announcing me now? Is that what you're calling me?
No, that's not what I'm calling you. That's what I'm calling the story. File this under W for... What? For the past few days and weeks, probably, maybe even months, British inventor Colin Furze has been constructing a giant fart machine. As you do. Encased inside a pair of specially constructed giant buttocks, the inventor planned to place the giant fart machine upon the cliffs of Dover that overlooks the channel and aim it at the French.
God bless you, son.
So some guy actually built a giant fart machine, put it inside an ass, and aimed it at France.
Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves.
Now, what do you make of this? This actually happened last night? I've been following this story for a while, but it actually happened last night. I've got a picture. I might email it to you later of the ass. Of the giant ass. Maybe that can be the picture for this week's podcast.
Yes, I like it.
But what do you make of that? Some guy builds a machine that farts, puts it inside a giantly constructed ass, and aims it at France.
I say knight the motherfucker.
Knight him. So it's now Sir Colin Firth. I say, what? I say he's either an idiot or a genius.
Clearly has too much time on his hands.
Leans towards genius.
Dude's genius. Yeah, man.
There were stories earlier today that they, because he got some folks over on the other side of the channel in France to go to Calais and listen out, and apparently they did hear some rumblings. Isn't that just... But just what does that say? You build a giant fart machine and aim it at the French?
Brilliant.
Fuck,
Absolutely brilliant.
Insane.
That's modern science for you.
Modern science, modern art.
Modern fart.
Well, actually, kind of modern sport as well.
On that bombshell.
Yes. On that bombshell,
I would like to thank Mr. David Robert Bridge for joining me tonight.
Yes, my pleasure,
I think
son.
the listeners would agree that you have done a splendid job. In fact,
I hope so.
in many ways, you're better than myself.
I'll get on. You don't have to offer me the contract right now. You know, there's no millions have to be laid down right now. But
in all seriousness, thank you for that. You have been excellent.
Am I invited back?
You are most definitely invited back.
Okay.
Unless we get much vitriol from the listeners, in which case I have to bow to public opinion, I'm afraid.
What? No,
sorry.
No,
sorry.
Really,
sorry.
No, hang on. No, really, how much? If the listenership, triples, and they're all complaining about me, you have to keep me on because it's gone up.
That's true. Although I might just have to future endeavour your ass.
Oh, you
no,
fucking Laurinaitis over here. Oh yeah, I have to call you out on something else. What do you call me?
You're Burt Ward to my Adam West.
To your Adam West,
Mm-hmm.
you motherfucker. Apparently, I'm Robin to this Batman here. Fuck.
Everyone knows Robin was the best one anyway.
All my life. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm 210 pounds, and I'm his Robin. Fuck.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for that, son.
Well, you're welcome.
I'll still probably be here next week.
Excellent.
Maybe.
Excellent. I don't know what else to say really. If you want to email the show or
plugs,
then the current email address is just send them to me. Skinbear@icloud.com is my email address. I may change the show email address, but we'll worry about that later. For the time being, email me at skinbear@icloud.com. I'm on Twitter.
Follow you on Twitter.
Good question. My username is @skinnedbear. And yourself, sir?
Mine is David Bridge 1985. Come follow me, folks.
Come follow us. We talk just as much shite on there as we do on here. And that is really about it. got anything you would like to say, Mr. Bridge?
Mm,
Any tip? Any wise words to leave us on?
As a Renaissance man,
As Renaissance men, what can we finish with? If I just set us up for an actual failure of an ending.
I do have something quite profound to say. Is that I want to have sex with Paige.
And on that note, peace out.
Bye.